why don't we look at actually taking this whole roof right off.
I'm Anthony Carino. I've built and renovated hundreds of homes over the last decade. I'm renovating an old stone farmhouse in the Catskill Mountains into an income-generating vacation home.
Holy crap!
This is the Build TV, the Stone House Project. Good morning.
Hi, pal. Good morning.
We've only been living in the barn a couple of weeks now, and it already feels like home.
Go here.
The other thing we're getting into now is the planning phase for phase 2, which is the stone house. We want to be able to move through this as efficiently as possible. You might remember while I was renovating the firehouse, I proposed to JC.
And I want you to marry me.
Now we're planning our wedding and we're gonna host it right here at the stone house. So once we start construction in November, the entire project will have to be done in just 7 months. So in order to make this house a success, you gotta put in the same amount of detail, same amount of thought, same amount of energy as I did for the firehouse. If I wanna get this house done in any kind of efficient manner, we've gotta have a really, really good plan going into it. So when we came up and were looking at this house, before we even closed on it, I measured out the entire space. I drew the whole home as it stood prior to us owning it, so I had a baseline and I knew exactly what the as-built conditions were. From there, I started moving walls in Chief Architect to create the home we wanted it to be post-renovation. The first thing I did was design the as-built. This thick wall here was an existing wall. It had one opening here and it had another opening here. I wanted it framed in so there was not a second means of egress into what was the family room and what will now become the master bedroom. One of the first big changes we were making in this home is opening up this part of the house. So if we go back to the as-built plan, you can see that this opening used to be really small. By opening that wall up a ton, now we've got these great sight lines. You're also able to make a much easier transition into that kitchen and then ultimately getting yourself over to the living room. Putting in this double slider from Renewal by Andersen is going to be an absolute game changer. And then obviously the reasoning behind the double slider is because of this amazing patio we're going to do. So we've got the driveway coming down here, and as we zoom in, this is going to be the shipping container pool from Tangle Pools. We've got a natural extension here over to the 3-season room. Anybody who's been watching me for a while knows that I love a good bold powder room. So moving from here, we're gonna hop into the master suite. This is a great example of figuring out the space. There was a door here that entered, and it was just one big open room. So what you'll see is this area over here will become a closet, and then this area in the corner will become a bathroom. That really covers it. The upstairs, nothing is changing from a layout perspective. We're really keeping the vast majority of it the same. So the vast majority of the work, especially the structural stuff, all happens on the ground floor. Okay. All right, good morning. So, as you can tell, I am up here in the barn. The Catskills has exploded. Prices are up 14 to 20% in some areas. I knew from day one I wanted John Rittner. I know John a decade, and quite frankly, he's the only reason I'm gonna be getting this house done. First 2 weeks in November, John's gonna get in here and start doing the rough framing and setting the structural beams and steel. We've got some really, really cool things that are gonna go on in this space. So we'll do it room by room and kind of take a little walkthrough. Let's go to work. I got John and all the subs all coming by today to do our first walkthrough of the stone house. All right, let's walk it through. So today, it's about answering questions based on that bid set, answering questions based on that scope of work, and walking through the physical property so these guys can all get their eyes on it. Any problems, any concern areas that jump out at them, they can tell me about it. I did some pre-demolition, some exploratory holes in the home. Contractors do not have X-ray vision, so if those walls are closed up, they don't know what problems exist behind those walls. My plan is to have this entire house demoed to the studs, wide open before you guys start. Do we want me to just open the walls and then have you come back and look at the wiring? We should probably just scrap it all.
Yes.
Josh and Ken, same thing. Like, do we want to look at PVC or any lines that are in here?
Scrap it all away.
Okay, then I'll rip it all out.
This house was in bad shape. I mean, it was nasty. I mean, really, really nasty. I had actually talked to his neighbor, and his neighbor had said that there was several different owners that all basically just were overwhelmed with this place and walked away from it. It really took someone that was gonna have that stick-to-it nature, and find a guy like myself. Why don't we look at actually taking this whole roof right off?
Okay.
We're gonna spend a lot of labor cutting all this apart to get a rigid
The same thing with the wire. Sometimes it's easier to do it new than
So
to
now,
fix it.
so then also think about this. These are probably gonna be 10 to 12 inch.
Oh, you could frame the walls a little higher.
10 to 12 inch, so yeah. Instead of working underneath everything, we're just taking it off, doing it all properly, putting it all back together from the top, which is a hell of a lot easier than trying to do it all from underneath and
It's the-
retrofit everything.
No, you're right. Let's rip it off.
So,
Okay. The beautiful thing about Chief Architect is now I can start designing with materials, and then that will inform what I actually want to select and go and look at.
My first stop is Garden State Tile.
We're back. One of my favorite places.
round two.
Yeah.
There are gonna be a ton of tile choices I have to get through for this project. In the kitchen, the bar, the 3 bathrooms, and master bedroom bathtub area.
How long does it take you guys to clean up after I leave? I feel like I turn your showroom upside down every time I'm here.
My next stop, countertops. Not only for the kitchen and the bar, but also the outdoor kitchen.
I know that I want to work with a company called NEOLITH. They use really high quality natural materials. It's freeze thaw stable, meaning I can use it on my outdoor kitchen as well as my indoor kitchen. It's UV stable, again, safe to use outside. And you can take those hot pots right off the stove and put them down. Plus the benefit of being non-porous. And when you're gonna have as many parties and do as much entertaining as we are, it's important that those countertops don't get stained. Awesome, man, I appreciate it again. Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
Now with the countertops settled, I need to look at some appliances for what will be an epic outdoor kitchen.
So we're at the Fisher Paykel DCS showroom today, and here is Brianna right here. I scheduled an appointment with this lovely person who we're gonna be keeping our distance from each other to take me through the appliances that I spec. I was gonna work with DCS, which I had never worked with before, but knew as a very high quality outdoor appliance. They're the outdoor arm of Fisher Paykel, which obviously makes great indoor appliances. Wow, these grates are serious. Holy cow, was I blown away.
With all the exterior hardscaping I have planned, we'll need some serious pavers for both the entry patio and the large patio off the living room. I'm looking to work with a company called TechoBlock. They have some beautiful pavers to check out.
This is a serious display. Blue Grande, I'm pretty set on. I just want to see it and touch it in person.
Absolutely.
And then I'm making a decision between the Antica and the Villaggio. This is a harder decision than I was anticipating.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, demolition. So with the plans and the design all done, I decided I'm gonna save a little bit of budget here and I'm doing the rest of this demo myself. The master bedroom. I got help. So you know it's a Friday when Jace gets up here.
So that's it. Demo is done. Whew!
The plans are done, the contractors are on board. The house has been demoed and the products have been spec'd and ordered. All that's left is to start putting this house back together. And hopefully get it done in time for this wedding. This season on the Build TV, we go room by room to show you what it takes to convert this stone house into my mountain escape.
Holy shit, I'm so excited.
Subscribe or follow at thebuild.tv to make sure you don't miss any episodes.